ওদিকে
हुस्न तेरा तौबा 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 हुस्न तेरा तौबा 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 हुस्न तेरा तौबा
ছেড়ে যাবে না কখনো তোমার মতো কে আছে বলো
পাল ছাড়া নামের বুকে ঢেলে ঢেলে খেলা করে আকাশটাও দেখে মোদের খুশি
পাহাড়ের দেওয়ারিতে ভালোবাসা লেগে আছে তেমন করে বুকের মাঝে তোমায় খুশি
আলিঙ্গনে ভালোবাসার মোহে তোমার মতো কে আছে বলো
এই গান ছুঁয়ে বলো
একটু আড়াল হলে কেন মনে খোরাক জাগে তোমার সঙ্গ পেলে কেন দেহ শিউরে ওঠে
Look like you're a cloud. You're a cloud.
Posso matar na película? Replay eso na. Posso matar.
হয় মারি দিয়ে পরে বৃষ্টি আইতে পারে ইয়া পরে বৃষ্টি আইতে ঝামেলা হয়ে যায়
Sati mau coba ni umbrella. Abi lu jangan sama hotel bawa ya.
ও তো ওকে যাত গা
Se me sirve.
আচ্ছা দি
ল্যাপটপে ঘুরে রাখা তার সামনে
আয়
মনিটর দিয়ে বড় মনিটর
Don't
বিল্ডিং এর ক্লাউডের ভিতরে কি আমায় গেছে
ও ওটাই কইরাম আমি
বিল্ডিং ক্লাউডের ভিতরে আমায় গেছে সুন্দর লাগে আসলে আমার সুন্দর লাগলো না আর কতদিন গানটা দেখারা
খালাইয়া
मोटरसाइकिल चले जा It's a truck. It's a truck, Baba. Oh, it's a tram. It's a tram.
গাড়ি গাড়ি
Maybe because Trump was here. Maybe there were a bunch of like conservatives. That's smart. Wow, a lot of people. Yep. Yeah, we've been talking about that. তা প্রাইভেট এটা এখন লইতে বাক্কা টাকা লাগবে না Everybody make sure you
ভিডিও ভ্যাকেশন হইলে
Please give us your undivided attention to this important safety announcement.
এটা সপ্তাহে তো দেখা যায় বৃষ্টি আইলে বৃষ্টি পড়তে না
Annually by the U.S. Coast Guard and installed with all required safety equipment. Life rings are once again.
All right. Hi, folks. My name's Alyssa. I'm going to be your tour guide today. Who's excited to learn about Chicago's history and architecture? Let me try that again. Who's excited to learn about Chicago's history and architecture? Excellent. Now keep in mind that this is a narrated tour. And sometimes people are more interested in being on a boat than they are in learning about Chicago's history and architecture. And that's great. you ask if you're going to have any conversation, in person or on the phone, no matter how quiet you think you are, if you go downstairs and if alcohol is involved, look back. You are not as quiet. There's another Beaux-Arts style building in front of us, the Wrigley Building, completed in 1924. The architect. I don't tell that one very often, but I'm feeling bolder. It takes some stones. I have a whole slate of jokes, but I don't want to get off to a rocky start. Okay, we're on the Chicago River. At its deepest point, it's 22 feet deep. It used to flow into Lake Michigan, which was and is our source of drinking water. In the 1800s, we treated this river like a toilet. We used it to discard all of our industrial, animal, and human waste. In 1885, we had a torrential rainstorm, with very strong winds coming out of the west. And the concern was that the wind was going to push the river water 2 miles off the shores of Lake Michigan into a... If you're not from Chicago, you might think you're going to hear a really inspiring story and how we were pioneers in cleaning up our water. No, I'm going to tell you how we made our problem someone else's problem. Between the South Branch of the Chicago River and the Des Plaines River, there's a portage. We dug a canal 35 feet deep, whose gravity says water goes to the deepest point. We named it the Sanitation and Ship, with a P canal. Down the Des Plaines River, down the Illinois River, down the Mississippi River, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. We could take this boat to New Orleans if we wanted to. I have to go home and write a podcast script about something called Block 37. But we could. I digress, we got sued. We were first by St. Louis because their source of drinking water was and is the Mississippi River. And they were concerned we were going to contaminate their drinking water. Number one, they could not prove the contamination originated in Chicago. And number two, they were doing the same thing. Don't worry, they got even with us. They bottled up that gross, disgusting river water and sold it back to us. We then got sued by Michigan, Indiana, and Wisconsin. They claimed that we were drinking in Michigan. We lost that lawsuit. The law was built for one reason and one reason only, and that is to regulate the amount of water that comes into the Chicago River from Lake Michigan. Because of the law, Lake Michigan is now higher than the Chicago River. So every time the law opens, about 800,000 gallons of Lake Michigan water comes into the Chicago River. This is what's going to happen. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is while we're out on the lake, it's a panoramic view, and people can't see through you, so just be mindful when you're standing up. Particularly in this area right here, and right there where I'm pointing to things. Just want to remind everybody again about the good neighbor to the people around you. Now, it was managed in 1970s, Madison Coulter decided to do one of the lighthouses. We wanted to have lighthouses in school like that. So we found that not only man the lighthouse, but to pay a phenomenal rent for the opportunity to do so. We found it open into the city, except for the guy they found was a...
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ এটা নিচে দিতে পাস হইব দেখো কেমনে পাস হয় ও দে পাস দৌড়াইতে গেছে মাথা নয়া রাখিস মাথা নয়া না
And we're back. Just want to remind everybody on the river it's rapid fire, so we do again ask if you want to have any conversation. If you go downstairs, again I recommend the bow chairs down there. All right, over here, nothing happened. And then on the second Tuesday of March in 2020, they sat down and they negotiated. And they agreed 2 buildings, one 550 foot, one 850 foot residential. A year and a day later, the project was approved by the City Council of Chicago. It's got a banquet facility the size of a football field with unobstructed views. Perfect place to go if you want to have a nice intimate dinner for you and 1,000 of your closest friends. Now we've got the building with the yellow ball on top. It's the Hotel Intercontinental, completed in 1919. Walter Oschlager is the architect. The architectural term that yellow ball is called an onion dome. The building was the Medina Men's Club. They're known for Arabic art. We don't see a lot of Arabic. East Tractor Drive and Lower East Tractor Drive, all of which have 3 levels, has been described as a portal to disappointment. Now it's named after a guy named Charles Wacker. Now the verdict, Charles Wacker was afraid that the city of Chicago would abandon the plan. So he had a book published and made it required reading for every 8th grader in the city of Chicago. I recently learned that Mayor Richard J. Daley was one of those 8th graders and claimed that it was his favorite book of all time. So it did impact Chicago. Now, right here, we've got where DeSable, John Baptiste Point DeSable, is our first. That is a neo-Gothic tower called the Tribune Tower. Completed in 1925. The architects are Hood and Howell. And it's inspired by European cathedrals. It's not there flying buttresses. European cathedrals flying buttresses are both there. Tribune Tower, again here with Monumental. Now the Tribune moved out, and the building is going to condo. I was thinking about it. Because my commute would be too short. And I used my commute to improve on my kids. Oh, and they ranged from 700 down to 800. It was supposed to be a pop-up for 1 year through. Now they have a feature called the Sprinkle Pool. Admittedly, I have no idea what that is. But I also know that if I paid $8 million for my condo, I don't want one in my building. Now we have Trump International Hotel and Tower. It is the 2nd tallest building in the city of Chicago and the 6th tallest in the United States of America. It's 1,362 feet tall with the spire. The architect is Skidmore Merrill. The lead architect is Hercules in Dubai. If you want a sense of how tall the tallest building in the world is, look up to the top and double that. That's pretty tall. Now coming into view is this black steel skyscraper, the American Medical Association in 1969. This was completed in 1971. He is an internationally acclaimed architect and moved here from Germany in the 1930s to teach architecture at the Illinois Institute of Technology. The black area is all on. This is philosophy was. Left is now. There should be ways in architecture. A lot of people are very curious as to how these buildings are constructed. Think of a flower. The elevator is the stem, and each condo has a pie-shaped pedal. And they really are pie-shaped. The narrowest part is the every unit, the widest part is the building. 1 piece of pie is a studio, 1.5 pieces of pie is a 1-bedroom, 2 pieces of pie is a 2-bedroom. I'm kidding, I didn't know this. I really like this. certain way it flows. So now I have a sense of beauty and attention. And how bad I can be. How dark. It's the Reed Murdoch Center. In the early 1900s, the original architect was George Newman. And he was known for his industrial work. Now, if you were taking this tour in the early 1900s, there's a chance to be bored. You can go right there and see the structures of it. It's a converted warehouse. And all you do is connect the industrial building. This is one of the few areas like on the river. Now, if you look up, there's a clock tower. Lots of clock towers in Toronto. Anybody would know. We've got the UV glass looking at the silver steel, 300 north of south, in 2009. The architects are hard and choke, and it is LEED certified platinum. So LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Platinum is the highest of it. Lots of different features that make this building worthy of a platinum designation. Got a ribbon to draw your eyes off. Setbacks and geometric ornamentation. It is also the second largest building in the United States of America, with #1 being the Pentagon. It's got 8 miles of hallway. Now, it was originally built by Marshall Field to consolidate its warehouses. In 1945, he had a solid with back taxes. Joseph P. Kennedy post office and 3 cabinets, which is about on point for Chicago's capital population ratio. These are one of those cabinets which are not by its name. Trying to figure out what to call this area, they decided to call it Rivers, Native Americans call it. Native Americans call this area Chicago, which means skin deep onion, which is what was going on the banks of the Chicago River.
BNB.
Care about the river. If you told us that on rainy days, people would be walking along the river walk, we would have been the sidewalk. But I work when it rains. And there's always at least one person on the Riverwalk. So last spring, they proposed the West Wacker, completed in 1990. Ricardo Boco is the architect. And it is in a style that we call classical modernism. So at the base you've got arches, which we associate with classical Roman architecture. And the stack of floors, the glass and the steel, that's the modern element. And on the very, very top there, pediments, which we associate with classical Greek architecture. Then we have 55 West Wacker, the building that's in a hashtag. And I read about a tour guide who specializes in ugly architecture. And he referred to this as the Danny. The gray building with the silver bowling in the window, the Leo Burnett building completed in 1989. The architects are blue and roach. And it's award-winning, designed to be a column within a column within a column. It is home to Leo Burnett Advertising Agency, which is world famous. Some of their campaigns include you have the Bose Art Style building, the old Jewelers building. It's got that decorative lace, stack of floors, back to the top. On the very, very top is a dome. An architectural term that's called a belvedere, and that was home to the Stratosphere Lounge. People are going to try to tell you that they're Alpha Four, but he's already in jail by the time over. Then you got the green Art Deco building with the gold spire on top, the Union Carbide and Carbon building. Completed in 1928, the architects of the Burnham Brothers, Daniel Burnham's sons, and it is said to be inspired by the New Year's Eve celebration when they opened a bottle of champagne, and that it's their protest to revolution. All the fallen soldiers who were residents of the North. The last thing we're going to talk about is the Chicago flag. We love our flag here in Chicago. Everything on the flag is symbolic. The two blue stripes represent our bodies of water, Lake Michigan, and the Chicago River. The 3 white stripes represent South Carolina. 4 stars represent important Fort, Fire, Fair, Fair. In the order that they were added, it's party, party, catastrophe, catastrophe. They both were. Additionally, each point on the star is symbolic, but I'm not terribly great at memorizing things. You're going to have to look that up on your own. There's a 5th star we would have added to Chicago Children those 2016 Summer Olympics. That day was Rio de Janeiro. Some people feel we should have added it in the Cubs in the World Series, which would have had a big X. Finally. The White Sox won 6. On behalf of the cast and the crew and everyone here at Mandela, we really want to thank you for the love that you give. And if you like you didn't vote Mandela vote right, please just get paid the right vote. I personally have one of the best jobs in the Chicago. It makes a great job. It's awesome to show. I need to say, for people like you who don't Mandela vote right, that I was born with something family, please make it a little bit. Thank you for what you